The galaxy mocked human weapons, then learned why we call them. Relics of war, the Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Chen Wei stepped forward, his worn leather holster creaking with each measured step. The assembled delegates, crystalline, Etherians, towering Vorthak warriors, and the serpentine Nexari, watched with barely concealed amusement as the human representative approached the central dais. "Honorable Council," Chen began, his voice steady despite the weight of 1,000 hostile gazes. "Humanity formally requests admission to the Galactic Defense Alliance." A sound like breaking glass echoed through the chamber as High Etherian Zixthala laughed, if the harmonic vibrations her crystalline form produced could be called laughter. "The primitives seek to join our ranks? How quaint." General Korthax of the Vorthak military caste leaned forward, his 6 arms crossed in obvious skepticism. "Human, your species has barely achieved interstellar travel. Your weapons are—" He paused, searching for the right term in standard galactic. "Antiquated. Chemical propellants and metal projectiles? We abandoned such crude technologies millennia ago." The Nexari representative, Ambassador Esthanor, coiled his serpentine body higher. "Indeed, our plasma weaponry can vaporize molecular bonds. The Vorthak kinetic disruptors can shatter asteroids. The Etherians' light-based armaments bend space itself. What could your firearms possibly offer?" Chen's hand unconsciously drifted to the weapon at his hip, a simple black pistol that looked utterly primitive next to the exotic arsenal displayed around the chamber. Perhaps a demonstration would be more illuminating. "By all means," Zixthala chimed, her form shimmering with condescending mirth. "Show us these relics of war you humans are so proud of." What the Council didn't know, what they couldn't possibly understand, was why humanity called their weapons by that name. It wasn't because they were old. It wasn't because they were outdated. It was because they were all that remained of something far worse. Chen drew his sidearm with practiced ease. The weapon was unremarkable, matte black polymer and steel, worn smooth by countless hands. No energy cells, no exotic matter, no dimensional matrices. Just 700 years of human engineering compressed into 2 pounds of lethal efficiency. "This," he said, holding the pistol up for all to see, "is a consortium standard Mark 7. It fires a 45 caliber depleted uranium round at roughly 400 meters per second. Nothing fancy, nothing exotic." The council members exchanged glances. This was even more primitive than they'd expected. Chen continued, his voice taking on a quieter, more dangerous tone. "What you don't understand is that this weapon, and every other primitive tool in our arsenal, survived the dissolution wars. The chamber's ambient temperature seemed to drop several degrees. For 300 years, humanity fought itself across 1,000 worlds. We had energy weapons then, plasma, rifles that could melt through starship hulls. We had exotic matter bombs that could crack moons. We had dimensional weaponry that could erase entire star systems from existence." Chen's grip tightened on the pistol. "And one by one, they all failed us. The plasma conduits clogged with debris and the radiation storms of Kepler 442b. The exotic matter destabilized in the quantum fields around New Geneva. The dimensional weapons turned on their wielders when the Nexus arrays were destroyed." He raised the weapon, pointing it at a reinforced testing plate that materialized from the chamber's walls. Standard Council protocol for weapons demonstrations. "But this?" Chen smiled grimly. "This kept working. When the fusion reactors went cold and the cities burned, when the orbital platforms fell and the colonies went dark, when brothers killed brothers in trenches filled with radioactive mud, this kept working." The pistol bucked in his hand with a sharp crack that echoed through the chamber. The depleted uranium round punched through the testing plate like it was paper, leaving a perfectly circular hole surrounded by stress fractures. "The dissolution wars ended not because we made peace," Chen continued, holstering the weapon. "They ended because we finally understood what war really was. Every exotic weapon, every miracle of technology, every advancement we'd made, they were just different ways to die. But this?" He patted the holster. "This was a way to survive." General Korthax shifted uncomfortably. A single projectile weapon proves nothing, human. Our armor can it stop 1,000,000 of them? Chen interrupted. Because that's what you'll face. Every human soldier carries one. Every human ship mounts thousands. Every human world can manufacture billions. They don't need exotic matter. They don't need quantum processors. They don't need rare elements mined from the cores of dying stars. Chen pulled up a holographic display showing Earth's industrial capacity. Iron, carbon, sulfur, potassium nitrate. Elements so common they exist on 90% of worlds. We can make these weapons from asteroids, from atmospheric gases, from the dirt beneath our feet. The council chamber had grown very quiet. When the Scrathi invaded the Outer Rim colonies last year, Chen continued, your plasma weapons overheated after extended fire. Your kinetic disruptors ran out of power. Your light-based armaments couldn't penetrate their adaptive shielding. Zixthala's crystalline form had stopped shimmering entirely. How did you know about that? Chen smiled. Because we were there. 12 human volunteers with primitive weapons held Firebase Delta for 18 hours against a Scrathi assault force. They didn't stop firing once, couldn't stop firing, wouldn't stop firing. He gestured to the hole in the testing plate. You see obsolete technology. We see reliability. You see primitive design. We see battlefield-tested engineering. You see relics of a barbaric past. We see the tools that taught us that the strongest weapon isn't the one that can destroy everything. It's the one that works when everything else fails. Ambassador Stanor uncoiled slightly. And these volunteers died to the last man? Chen said simply. But the colony survived. 200,000. Civilians evacuated safely while 12 humans with antique weapons held the line. The silence stretched for long moments before High Etherean Zixthala spoke, her harmonic voice subdued. The Council will consider humanity's application. Chen bowed formally. We'll be waiting. As he turned to leave, General Korthax's voice stopped him. Human, these dissolution wars, how many of your kind died? Chen paused at the chamber doors. All of them. The council exchanged confused glances. I don't understand, Korthax said. Chen looked back over his shoulder, his eyes holding depths of sorrow that spoke of species-wide trauma. The humans who fought the dissolution wars, the ones who built weapons that could crack planets and unravel space-time, they all died. Every last one. What emerged from those ashes was something different, something that understood that survival isn't about having the biggest gun. He patted his holster one final time. It's about having one that never stops working. The doors closed behind him with a soft hiss, leaving the most powerful beings in the galaxy alone with a simple, terrifying truth. Humanity didn't just make weapons. They had become one, forged in the crucible of their own near extinction into something that could not be broken, could not be stopped, and would never surrender. 3 days later, the Galactic Defense Alliance welcomed its newest member with full honors. After all, when the next great threat came, and it would come, they wanted the humans on their side.